like this thing's running lean. In fact, I see some smoke. All right, I think I'm gonna be able to fix my oiler issue that I believe I created. I am gonna say this, if you use water to clean the saws, you must get them dry afterwards. I don't know if that's what caused the oiler failure, or I'm not sure. But this is from Traverse Creek. It was a good price. It was actually, again, equal in price with shipping to Amazon. So why not give it to the smaller guy? So we're gonna take a look at the OEM oiler next to the aftermarket. There we are. You can see pretty darn similar looking. I do need to remove this little elbow here. Hopefully it just comes out. Let's go ahead and see how this fits in here. There it is. Got it on. Okay, now, but I gotta get this back where it goes, and that's not where it belongs. Go ahead and put a little bit of Loctite on these. Oil! We got oil. Nice. Beautiful. Right now we're sitting at about $50 on the total repair because of the oiler situation. I don't think the oiler was the saw's fault. I think I may have caused it. I don't know if it was from blowing a bunch of debris in it. I don't know if it was from assembling it incorrectly. That was a possibility as well. Like for example, I may just not have lined up the groove on the clutch house or the clutch. So that's a possibility as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's get this outside and get it idling for a little bit. In fact, I'll just go ahead and start it right in here. I need to give it a little bit more fuel. It feels lean and sounds lean. Take the high jet. I'm not familiar with this saw, so I need to turn it off here first. that little bit of cutting here, I feel like this thing's running lean. In fact, I see some smoke. It could be because it's just new. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hurry up and get this off and let it idle down so it cools off. You know what, this saw feels super, super hot. I'm probably burning this saw up here. So you guys could see, Okie Woodsman burn up a saw. Now, it was idling really high from the get-go, and what that tells me is either the idle was turned in sometime in the past, or it could be sucking air, I'm thinking. We're gonna move over here where we can see better. I really wanted to get this thing running, and I think we've done that, but it doesn't mean it's right. Okay, well, that's actually, I thought it would be white. Okay, I actually expected that to be like super, super white, just with how it's running. I'm gonna probably just let this thing idle now. Now that I know it runs, I'm probably gonna go ahead and just, like I said, I'll go ahead and set it up to idle. What did I do wrong? Did I do anything wrong here? We're gonna just let this saw, I'm gonna let this cool off. I'm gonna revisit this later. And the reason being is I don't wanna get in a hurry and have it fail. Okay. We're gonna run the echo. I just don't wanna risk anything on that because I don't know the saw yet. I am finding out right now if I've hurt this cylinder right now, okay? The reason why I'm doing this is I felt like it was really hot. I pulled the plug and it wasn't really white, but at the same time, the saw won't restart right now either. So let's take a look. Let's see if we can take a look here. I pulled the plug out. It's got good compression still. Okay, so that should not be the issue. I mean, I just wanted to be sure. Just because it literally, I mean, it was smoking. I know there was a ton of oil on it and all that as well, but at the same time, I kind of felt like the saw was lean. I have it as rich as it can go, like, because I think it's a limited adjustment on the carb. I'm guessing. I'll have to look at it a little bit more. But, okay, so that's good. That makes me feel better. I pulled the spark plug, and then after I pulled the spark plug, it no longer functions. Now, this is an aftermarket spark plug because it's what I had at the house here. Yep, there's spark. I've got plenty of spark, no problem. Probably can't see that on here. It's got spark. I basically laid my wrench onto the cylinder and I'll go ahead and pull it. So, plenty of spark. All right, so spark is not my issue, I don't think, unless, of course, I lose a connection here. It's possible I flooded it. I don't know. Put it on choke. Okay. I may not have had something right. So my intentions here were to let the saw idle, but I just didn't like how it was running. It was idling quickly, kind of was going up and down in idle speed. And so I was like, let me go ahead and try to tune on this a little bit. I'll go ahead and show you here in a little bit. You can kind of get a sample of what it's doing. Because I was thinking, oh, that kind of sounds like an air leak, what I did is I went ahead and replaced the impulse line and the fuel line because I had those left over from the kit from Duke's. I also completely disassembled the carb, cleaned out the screens, and made sure that all of the diaphragms and everything felt pliable. Then I go out and run this saw, and I think it's all fixed. But then at the very end, there's a surprise. I definitely would appreciate any of you all weighing in on what you think might be happening and what you think my next steps should be in troubleshooting. At this point, I'm getting pretty excited. I'm thinking, man, this thing's running really well. So I just keep playing here. I've turned this log into a piece of Swiss cheese, cutting bits off of it here and there, enjoying myself, thinking, man, I could see myself using this. Yeah, it's not a powerhouse, but it sure is usable. It was running pretty well, I thought, and I've also been told that that muffler needs to get opened up. So again, I was feeling pretty good, feeling pretty pleased. So pretty soon here, I'm going to go ahead and go over to my actual firewood pile, make a couple cuts. Actually, I don't even think I get a couple cuts in. I basically, you'll see, make a cut. I then have to turn off the saw, and you'll see what happens. Now it's running like I wanted it to run. Earlier I ran it and it kind of just didn't feel right, and then I went to tune it because I wanted to give it a little bit more fuel. I realized that there's limiters in it. So this saw right here represents me doing some things I've never done. Besides rebuilding the top end, one of the first things I did is I removed the limiters, but I also kind of thought that the reason why I needed to tune it was I thought it might be sucking air, because what happened is all of a sudden this thing got really weird to run. It was just doing weird stuff, idling up and down like crazy, or being difficult to restart all of a sudden. So with the Dukes kit came extra fuel line, impulse line. I basically put all that in, new fuel filter. I also opened up the carburetor, checked there. This one has like a mesh that lays over the whole bottom side of the carburetor. That one had like a little bit of dirt in there, a little bit of chips or something. I got those out, but I also replaced the fuel line. Also the intake boot, it's the factory intake boot right now. It's possible that I didn't quite have that in there exactly right, because there's no detent. There's a little arrow that says down, that points down, but I think I had it clocked just a little bit off, and when I originally installed it in there, it was just ever so cockeyed. So what I did is I disassembled, took off a lot again, and I'm getting to be a pro at taking this thing apart, so that's good. But I don't want to have to take this one apart again though. I'm hoping that we're done. What I really want to have happen is I'm going to use this saw. I'm going to buck some firewood with it. I want to utilize it. If I love it, I will keep it. If I just because I've got other great saws, what I will likely do is sell it, and make sure I will sell it, letting them know that it has an aftermarket top end on it. But first, I want to make sure that the saw is working properly. So far, we have $50 into the saw, approximately, between about $30 for the top end, bearings, seals, and all that, and then about $20 for the oil pump. Right now, the saw is running quite well. I don't know what the heck, guys. I've cut quite a bit, but for some reason, this set of logs, I've kicked my chain more than once. And I mean, I was just cutting off those split ends right there, and I know that, you know, it was kicking hard because it's a full chisel chain, but gosh dang, man, I can't believe it's off. Anyway, regardless, the saw is running well. I can't believe I just burned the paint off of that bar though. That's kind of surprising because I don't generally do that, but I was kind of dogging in, and that pine was solid. I was kind of thinking all that pine was really punky, but the reality is that last round that I did, that was probably somewhere around 18 inches, was completely sound. So I was going to just burn all that stuff up, but I'm probably going to go ahead and try to split some firewood, some camp firewood out of that stuff. This saw here, I'm excited about it. Definitely, it's begging for a muffler mod, without a doubt. It needs a muffler mod badly. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see me. I might just stinking drill a hole. I don't know what. I'm gonna do something, because I mean, it runs pretty good, but I can tell there's more in there. It's 65 cc's. The saw right now is a good farm and ranch saw. Guys, this was a fun day. We got a lot done. Climbed the tree. I mean, gosh dang, we did a lot today. You know, got the oil pump in this. I love that the limiters are gone. What I did, in fact, is I screwed them all the way in, bottomed them out, and then took them out to 2.5 turns, and then started from there. That's what I did. And the saw, I was able to adjust it a little bit on the low and the high jet, and it tuned up incredibly well. It is really nice to have a good quality carburetor like a Walbro. About half of my tuning experience has been in the junk, the clone junk carbs. The 660 Neotech carb that that Aaron Lynch had on that saw, that saw tuned beautifully. That was an awesome carburetor. It held a tune always. It felt good. So I have more experience trying to mess with Holzforma 372s, and those ones were pretty rough, honestly. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. I'm really hoping that this is going to actually be a great saw. I'm actually really excited. I'm proud of this one. I'm going to be very proud of my 460 if I get that one fixed up too. So hoping, crossing my fingers that the cylinder will be okay. I'm going to have to wait a little bit to get a piston for it. I'll probably, honestly, I'll likely go with a Meteor piston. I don't want to spend a ton of money on it, and it's just because if I pull money from that, that's something else I can't do on the channel. There's some things I want to spend money on the channel for, and so it's a budget every single month, and so that saw is actually going to sit for a little bit. I need to get a piston for it at least. I don't want to run it the way it is. I want to get piston and rings. And if it needs it, well, I've got some aftermarket seals. I don't know. I mean, Tin Man has always used aftermarket seals on all of his builds. He said he's had good luck with them over the years. I know, of course, the steel ones are probably better, but again, at $20 for, well, this saw, it was $10 per seal. I got the seals from Traverse Creek. I figure if it runs funky after I put the seals in, because it's running great now with the OEM seals or whatever the heck's in there, I might, you know, maybe I could spray some brake clean on it and see if it leaks right in there, but I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay, especially because I'm worried about damaging them on the first go around. And I don't want to damage some nice OEM ones. Guys, I cut down that tree. The shed is going to get built out. I have to build that shed out. We're trying to get some stuff out of storage. Storage fees went up. I have, like I said, I have woodworking tools. I have a woodworking bench. I have a bunch of stuff that's not here because I don't have a place for it. Not to mention a ton of totes and all that stuff. And so I'm going to basically double the size of that shed. Needs to happen. That's all that's to it. And I cut those posts from Rock Hill Farms. I took that pine up there. That's partially what I was cutting those 6x posts for. I'm going to utilize those on the far end. That thing's going to get pretty high above the ground. I've got a bunch of lumber, store-bought lumber in storage, so I'm paying to store lumber. I just need to go ahead and build something with it, so I don't need to pay to store lumber. So anyway, that's going to be a project that's coming up here. We got lots going on. Plus, there's something really exciting within a week from, probably about a week or two from today. We've got something pretty exciting to announce. So guys, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All of you make this possible, and I am thankful to you again for every moment you watch my channel. It's like 80% of the viewers are unsubscribed. A majority of people don't hang around even halfway through the video. So I appreciate those of you that watch far more than the average. It's incredible. So guys, thank you so much. You have a good one. Be safe cutting, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, I'm asking for help, because I got done with that little video, put the chain back on, and it's doing kind of something that it did before. Put it on choke. Okay. That's it. There's no... All right, so that's what we got. That's what it did before. This thing, when it went together great, and it ran great. You saw all that right there. So I don't know. That's kind of frustrating. I would love your guys' opinions. You guys are far more knowledgeable than I am. Thank you.